Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Olympus Talks and Happy New Year from the Pantheon. I'm your host Hercules.
Zeus.
Perseus. Our special guest, it's his first time. He's a member of the Pantheon as well. And we have Kratos. Alright, so today's episode we're going to be talking about dieting. And what questions do we have on the dieting, Zeus?
Alright, so y'all must be wondering what's going on this week. Where's the relationship videos? Don't worry, we're going to do another one the week after. We have to deviate a little bit. Alright, but we're going to be talking about dieting in fitness right now. And the first question on that topic actually is, and before we get into that, I just want to ask one of you guys, what do you consider dieting, Jay?
So, in my eyes, in my point of view, dieting would be you're adhering to a certain type of food guideline to either cut back on the amount of calories you're consuming or to increase your calories for a certain type of desired outcome of your body.
Excellent definition. And going on to the first question, which is actually going to be, what would you say is the most effective diet that you've used to date? Starting with you, Jokes.
Alright, personally for me, it's more like a omnivore diet. So I believe that you need a balance of both meat and vegetables, right? So personally for me, that's how my body operates. The most efficiently when I get in a lot of meat, as well as vegetables and grains and all of that. So I believe a balanced diet from every single food group is the most optimal.
For everybody?
Yeah, for everybody.
Okay, what about you, Jay?
For me, let me tell you what my diet looks like. I'm trying to put on a bit of research. So usually be a mixture of what I would say oats with different type of nuts. Mostly rice right now. I don't really have money for buy like a surplus of food, so I like keep it simple: rice, chicken, broccoli, like the regular bodybuilder type thing. And I already say it, but it's more like a protein shake, but it's not like I don't use like the protein powder that they use, because I don't believe it's good for me. You understand? So I get a mixture of nuts like pumpkin, peanut, cashew, different nuts and I don't put any milk in it, so I just use that coconut milk. I keep it as plant-based as possible. You get what I'm saying? Because most of the other things I'm eating involve meat or chicken. For the most part. I also consume a lot of growing provisions. I think
so a low glycemic index, carbs, for the most part.
I don't really include a lot of snacks or a lot of outside food or I don't really consume a lot of fast food. I'm not going to say never, because I do like once a week.
Without cheating.
Every other week. I get like a little fries here and there, but I try to keep it that way because I want to. I'm not only working on the physical aspect, but basically I try to keep myself looking a little bit young. I get me. I believe the fast food can age you a little bit quicker than the natural food. So that's how I do it.
What about you, Ricky?
So for me, knowing how my body burns calories effectively or efficiently, I should say, I tend to need a lot more calories than most people that train. You get me? So I go for like a large portion that involves a lot of carbs, high protein as well. I try to incorporate vegetables and fruits so my body can get the vitamins that it needs, and I can feel more vitalized and ready for my training. From time to time I might snack on maybe a butter kiss or Oreo. Oreo are my favorite snack. So still energize myself, because the training that I do it tends to be very load intensive and volume intensive, and sometimes I tend to just overwork myself as well. So because I know some have the habit there, I kind of need the extra energy in order for
like a buffer.
For the most part though, I try to eat as nutritiously as possible.
No dirty bucket around here.
Yeah. So I try to get in as many bananas as possible, as many fruits in the morning before I start my workout. I try to eat a decent sized breakfast that usually involves like ground provision, yam, banana, pumpkin, either mackerel.
Glycemic stuff again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either mackerel or chicken, or if beef they cook, or even turkey neck, I eat them there for breakfast.
Yeah.
You know, and I realize I feel more energized and we can execute the training a lot more effectively and efficiently. But for in terms of like, if I'm trying to shed or cut down and work on definition, which I don't really do because that's not really the aim that I'm going for right now.
Exactly.
I'm not a bodybuilder, men's physique guy. I usually try to not eat foods that are high in fat or trans fats.
Or processed sugar.
Yeah, I try to stay away from processed stuff as best as I can, but sometimes I just can't avoid it.
Yeah.
So when I do that, it's so it can keep my body fat at a healthy enough and optimal level for me to still look a certain way and still be able to do my training effectively as well.
Yeah. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. And I take similar cues from these guys dieting. So for my diet specifically, and this is something I recommend to even most people who are in fitness. But if you're, let's say your fitness program is tailored towards powerlifting or was general fitness, I think you should try and get a balance of everything. Preferably a lot of vegetables, proteins. On my carb sources personally, I try not to eat too much rice and stuff. If I go eat rice, I eat like brown rice, maybe parboiled. I don't eat a lot of white rice or a lot of white bread, mostly brown bread. Whenever I do carb up, it's mostly when I go to the gym on a particular day because I know I'll burn through it and I need the extra energy. And some days I might do like an intermittent fast. I think it's good for your insulin levels. This is something we might even go dive into later on. But a lot of people have insulin resistance or insulin problems because they're constantly eating a lot of high glycemic foods that tend to have the insulin all over the place. And I find people who have insulin resistance or insulin issues have a harder time burning fat. So you find these people have a hard time losing weight as a result. So for me, I do intermittent fast in the morning. So some mornings I might go from maybe, I'll get up say 7 o'clock all the way till 12 before I eat breakfast and eat lunch like 2-3 hours after dinner. So there's a window, a 5 to 6 hour window where I eat and then I close off for the rest of the day. Intermittent fast essentially. And I feel really good because my body feels fasted. I don't feel like I constantly have food processing or a lot of sugar foods or stuff like that in my system. So it's just a mixture of intermittent fasting, high protein, decent amount of carbs, a lot of vegetables type diet that's tailored towards me, building muscle, retaining strength, also having adequate energy in the gym to work out. You know, I think a diet like that works for the average person in fitness. Understand?
Yeah. Another thing I want to talk about and touch upon is like dieting for women, particularly women with conditions like polycystic ovarian syndrome or PCOS as them call it, or PCOS. And touching on the same insulin resistance, usually PCOS comes with insulin resistance for women, so it's a lot harder for them to burn fat like that.
Yeah.
Some women, like them have, there are different like symptoms and signs that women experience that are telltale signs of PCOS, which is like male pattern hair growth, excessive weight gain, irregular periods, stuff like that.
Yes, hormonal imbalances.
Hormonal imbalances, because there are fibrous cysts growing on the ovaries, so that can throw things out of whack. So there are women that can and don't exhibit the symptoms of PCOS. So some women, they can't really tell that they have PCOS. You get me? But nonetheless, the best stay for women with PCOS, in order to, if their goal is to cut down on body fat, is to give them resistance and weightlifting training.
Yeah.
Because that method of training helps them to burn more glucose that is in excess in the bloodstream because of the insulin resistance.
It's an internal problem for them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's more of a physiological problem for them rather than just their lifestyle. You get what I say? I can say this because I've trained a few women with PCOS, and I found that them doing resistance and weight training brought a lot of significant results and changes for them. So working the muscle forces the body to use up the excess glucose in the bloodstream. Yeah, that in turn does not accumulate and then be converted to glucagon, which is stored in the muscles, and the excess energy that is not being used in the body gets converted to fat. That's how it works. So when you have them doing these strenuous processes, working the muscles, uses up the glucose, they cut down on body fat, and they also improve in muscle mass. But also women like those need to also still watch their calorie intake and the type of foods that they eat.
And speaking of that, this is what you're talking about is a perfect transition to the next question, which is why do most diets fail? You mentioned PCOS and all that, like just continue adding on to that.
So the reason why, or part of the reason why some diets don't work is, one, it can be human error because many people just start a diet but don't know what they're doing in the diet and don't know what to eat. Them just feel like, say, you know, just eating less calories can help you for get a six-pack or whatever. There's also the mere fact that what is your goal? Once you know what your goal is, then you can choose the diet plan to help you to achieve that goal. You get what I say? People just looking at dieting from a general sense and also on that Masudi agent. And on that is just the mere fact that people on a general basis tend to clump dieting in a general sense because people think dieting means fat loss in all cases. When dieting just means that it's a way how you structure your diet or your pattern of eating in order to achieve a desired physical result or health benefit. You understand me? So it's not everybody, because even persons who are building muscle, they diet to build the muscle. It's just that it looks totally different from somebody who's dieting to lose body fat. So there's also that concept of what dieting is as well. But the best thing to do is do your research on what kind of diets work for you for the particular goal that you want to try and achieve. Whether it be just being a generally healthy person, trying to work on maybe a certain kind of disease that you have, PCOS for example, or you know, irritable bowel syndrome and stuff like that. Fat loss, muscle building, and just, I guess, to just look more youthful and skincare. You get what I say? So you just need to do your research and find out what your goal is and match up the dieting plan that matches with that.
Yeah, and if you don't have if you're too lazy to do that, find a good coach who is able to actually analyze your, as Ricky said, physiology, and find a plan that works for you specifically. So what about you, Jaime? Why do most diets fail, you believe?
Okay. Well, going off of what Ricardo said about dieting, I believe, and this is generally the case, well, most of the time I'm having any conversation in relation to dieting and changing the composition of your body, it'd be dialogue with women, right? But the way how they go about it, and I think it's because of what's trendy on social media right now. They tend to go off of what's trendy on social media, and what's trendy on social media, it tends to give them a lot of misinformation, what I would say. So they believe that
unrealistic proportions and stuff like that.
And they believe that yes, they believe that they can spot reduce fat, right? So, and I have a vivid example of this. I remember a flatmate I was speaking with at the time. She told me that she wanted 2 weeks to go to her birthday, and she wanted to lose that belly fat in order. And I simply told her, get off my phone, because that's the next thing, right? You can't be you can't be practicing a certain type of lifestyle for the past 19 years, and on your 20th birthday, 2 days to it, you're gonna say, oh, you know what? I want to lose that belly now. 2 weeks in, now you've been living like that, and
I know the sad reality with that
that's
too.
an incremental build up
A lot of them say
over
they want to
past
do
time.
it. But them say they want to do it, and they want to do it for a particular time,
That's
and
the
then go
next
back
thing.
to how they must
That's
do
the
it.
next
back
thing
to
that I'm
to
getting.
square one.
Yeah.
So they want a summer body
Yeah.
for the summer, but they don't want to live the lifestyle. They believe that they can live a certain type of lifestyle. They can be lazy. Nothing is wrong with that if you want to be lazy. Just the fact that you believe that it's easily accomplished
attainable,
like that,
yeah.
or it's easily
That's what it
attainable
is.
like that.
Yeah.
It bugs me. I mean, I'm training for a while now, and even though my purpose shift to powerlifting, right? I realized that for me to even get a pound of muscle, so to speak, it's incremental changes over a period of months, right? Before even I realized, yeah, you guys might look at me and say, yo, you know, I see that you're getting a little bit bulky, right? You tend to have more muscle here than you have last time, but it takes work.
Exactly.
I'm not going to say that they have to work the way how I work. It doesn't necessarily have to be that case. Like say 275 pound squats. You don't have to be doing it like that. I'm just saying it has to be a consistent lifestyle thing, and they tend to diet without working out too. So they say they have a little bit of a shape around there, right? And when they engage in training, they be like, no, when they engage in the diet, they just lose the weight. I said the body doesn't work that way, right? In order for you to maintain that physical composition that you want, you have to show the body that you want it. You can't just say, you know what, I'm going to just...
Physical composition.
What I mean is, alright, so, you know, alright, sometimes ladies have a tendency for like, alright, they might have a little shape back there, right? But they want to lose the belly fat, right? But they want to keep
the bottom,
right? But the way how they go about it, or what they believe would be the outcome if they just eat less, then they would just lose the belly fat
and keep the
bottom. And I remember saying to a lady that I was working with one of the time, or wasn't really working with, it was really one of my flatmates. I was saying to her that you can't go about it like that, right? Even if you did some basic squat, lunges, you don't have to even go into the gym. Just home workout continuously over a period of time, say give it good 2-3 months, while you're incrementally cutting back on your calories would actually do the trick for you, right? But I saw her 2-3 months later, and exactly what I predicted would have happened, right? Yeah, some of the belly reduced, but the bottom wasn't there anymore. So that's what I'm saying. If you're...
So what you're recommending is that if they're dieting and they want to keep a certain body part the same or remain the same size relatively, you would encourage them to cut down on calories but try to increase protein and try to lift weights in order to maintain wherever they want to maintain.
Yes, but
in layman's term, replace muscle with fat.
To a degree, yeah. And I think it's because we live in an instant gratification society where we believe that, you know, we just can exist. We don't have to put in any work in regards. We put in work into our education, into our finance, into our life. We buy all these convenient things to make our lives a little bit better. But we don't believe that when it comes to our body, we need to put in adequate work in it. We believe that we're supposed to just exist, eat, sleep, talk, walk.
Which is funny because I read a story the other day that says that most people that go into the gym, I think it's probably like 70% of people that go into the gym,
Yeah.
don't go in there for health reasons. They go in there for aesthetic reasons.
Mm.
So they want to look good on the beach, look good for the people them out there, but they don't want to feel healthy.
Yeah.
And most people don't do it for the health reasons.
That's
Yeah.
it.
And
That's
they
it.
don't want to put in the work for it either.
So it's not a lifestyle thing.
No, I don't sustainable.
Yeah.
I'm not sustain the changes where they make through it.
Because it feel like a seasonal thing. I'm gonna look good for this period of time,
Yeah.
for this person, and then I can fly off of the rail.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why
I feel like-
you want to look good? Why you want to look good once a year? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
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 Like body wise, not body with close body.
The thing is that people don't understand that when it comes on to dieting and looking a particular way, or going to the gym to look a particular way, they expect that you will go into the gym once they finally achieve the goal or something close to achieving the goal, then all of a sudden stop and expect everything to just remain the same.
Yes.
But when them realize that them stop, they realize everything starts reverting to square one.
Exactly.
And them have to get back into the gym, and then when them realize that them get back into the gym, it's harder than when they just started.
Exactly.
And then them start to give up, and their mental fortitude just gives in and say them can't bother with this because it's so hard. The only reason why it's hard is because you were never consistent.
Exactly.
I always say if you make fitness a lifestyle, then you won't have to worry about the summer body. The summer body
Exactly.
will be there.
Yeah.
Right? And you don't. One of the things I remember when and sorry to bring this up, but I remember when you were dating your
My ex,
yeah, for example, and I was having a discussion with her about how she was going to go about getting herself into better shape, and I told her it's not necessarily about you going into the gym and do 4 sets of whatever you want to do. Sometimes you can even do 2, sometimes you can even do 1. It will be much better for you to have mini flames going on than coming into the gym for one period of time,
It's a
lasting out a
consistency.
big fire.
Yeah.
Right?
Consistency.
And then you don't have the energy, or you don't feel in your body that you want to go back because of the stress that you put on your body and on your mind to like go into the gym. Because that's what I do sometimes, you know. And every time I go into the gym I feel like I'm some Superman. And I can move everything
None of
and
us
do
do.
everything.
That's the problem.
Right?
It boils back down to discipline, self-discipline. Most people lack discipline. So they're not disciplined enough to go to the gym every single week, even if they go 2 times for the week. Consistency over a period of time will show on your body. And you will feel better over a period of time. Going to the gym for 1 whole week and then 3 months you're out of the gym. It don't make sense.
That's
Yeah.
true.
You have to be more consistent.
It's the same with the diet. Alright, so to wrap up this failure aspect of dieting, Doug, what's your take on that? Why do most diets fail?
Most diets fail because of human error. Because I think a lot of people genuinely don't know what a diet is. Most of them don't go into, well, as it relates to the ones that fail, they go into dieting thinking that basically everything's supposed to have a fast, right? So that's where you see a lot of them go on fat diets. Like personally, I don't see nothing wrong with the carrot diet. What you know, they eat a bag of carrot or eat a bag of fruits, or you blend them up and things. But personally, for me, what I observe a lot of people that they do that, and they basically cut out a lot of essential nutrients that their body need. So they go up on a strict carrot eating diet or so. Trust me, see Olympus time.
Hyper strict
They
water,
lose weight,
carrot,
extremely
vegetable
strict,
diet.
like basically a fat diet. So they lose a lot of weight, and they no retain much muscle. Well, they not retain most of the muscle, but they lose muscle in the process of losing weight because it's not sustainable. They're not actually nourish their body with adequate protein, especially. A lot of times you realize that most of the protein they don't really consume when they try to lose weight. So for me personally, you want to build or maintain muscle. Personally, I feel like if you build muscle while you lose weight, it will help you burn calories.
Yeah, natural.
Faster because
Because your muscles are the most natural form of burning calories.
what's the term for when the muscle? Thermogenics or whatever I want him?
After you-
Thermodynamics, that's that?
Yeah,
No.
thermodynamics. Yeah, the muscle more, some of the active whatever. So you burn more.
I think after you do like resistance type of exercises like squatting.
I
think we have
the more muscle you have.
And then muscle tend to feed on a lot of calories.
Exactly,
so people with muscle tend to be able to burn fat.
Exactly. So
yeah.
Yeah, so basically, most people don't go into diet with a sustainable model. They just go in and say how fast you can lose the weight.
Yeah.
And nothing happen fast. Well, typically things where you do fast, you're not sustainable.
Yeah.
Right, so then basically go on a fat diet most of the time. And say, I don't want to lose weight, and then them basically go bounce back and put on more weight and then blame the diet.
But you know,
it's because they don't know where to do.
No, but I don't mean to cut you, brother. But carrot, come on, brother. And that me I talk about with the social media influence and the influencers
and
them, bro, and them did I eat, then they either eat rice and mackerel for a whole long, right? And then they decide to say, oh, you know what, I'm gonna just come out for that and just jump on keto. You never do no research on keto in your life. You don't know what keto look like. You don't know if what them people there tell us are false shit. Sorry my language, right? And you just decide to say you're gonna jump on that because you hear somebody say, brother, research your own thing. See what kind of effect this will go have on you. You know? Try if you understand if it really work for you. Get some medical advice as well to see if I so be the case or if I actually true the people them attack. You know, you just watch a couple YouTube video and I eat that. And they always watch for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Because they try to achieve this outcome so fast. Right? Me sure you know top level professional athlete that train for years before they get the body where they and them train vigorously, them train really hard. Why who no believe say no? Who can just jump on the treadmill for 10 minutes for one time a week and just believe say yo now go just reach to this aesthetic god tier physique.
Yeah,
like say you know carve out or something.
I think the most
like some stone.
You know, Jay made a lot of good points, and everyone here also made many good points. I think the most sustainable model for a diet for everybody would be a diet that just consists of, it's basically calories in versus calories out. So if you're looking to burn fat, less calories over a period of time, over a sustainable healthy period of time, along with consistent exercise. I think that's probably the most consistent, sustainable model people can use. Instead of cutting out this and that out of your diet, cut out things that are obviously more unhealthy than others, but you still need sugars in your diet, you still need fats,
you still need carbs, still need protein,
everything.
All of those things your body still needs to in order to function properly.
The best diet is a whole
proportions is the key.
Yeah,
literally.
Also, if you tend to eat more protein, you're going to be more satiated longer, so therefore the calorie deficit will be easier.
But
yeah,
healthy fats
and it curbs the
cravings. Healthy fats act like they give you energy.
Yeah.
But they also sit up in your body not to the calories. So
honestly speaking, your best diet is a whole food diet. Like get a natural food. Trust me, it works.
Yeah.
You know, what do we know? Fresh, right?
Stuff, yeah.
Alright, fresh is a good example. Fresh not take no creatine, fresh not take no supplements, fresh just eat food. Fresh just cooking food and eat. And look how that the brother they look. So it's really and truly your consistency and your output in the gym. Anything we need otherwise from that is just supplementation. But people think supplementation will be the main course of action when they must start gym. That's the next thing.
It's just an addition, that's all it is.
But just go get protein powder and I go start gym.
Yeah,
it's good if you want to get the protein powder, you know, right? But
grown up. Start from the foundation.
But bro, you know go through nothing in the gym yet for like you say, oh man, I go just gravitate to this. You know what I mean?
Because creatine and protein powder, as good as they can be, and especially creatine, because creatine is highly researched. Protein powders, a lot of them tend to have a lot of additives and unnecessary stuff. But I recommend these for advanced fitness.
The supplements are really for persons who are athletes like us in powerlifting and many other sports, and for persons who have been in the gym for many years and they've reached a plateau that they want to get over. So in order to get over that, they might include more protein from the supplements and creatine to give them energy and to build muscle and to enhance their performance
Exactly.
if they can't get it from the foods that they're eating.
Yeah.
Not
already
protein
being
and
consistent.
supplements
Yeah,
are
it's
just
extra bomb for you.
yeah, protein and
Exactly.
supplements are really just additive. They're optional. They're not mandatory.
Yeah.
So most people come and ask myself, and I'm sure they've asked the rest of you
What's the
gentlemen.
best protein
single
powder?
day.
Yeah, like what
Every
would
single
think
time.
about protein, or which is the best protein for and these persons are usually beginners.
Yeah, like
if you're a
what?
beginner, you don't need supplements.
Yeah, like
Where
you
you
really
need is a
don't.
program where you can be
Yeah.
consistent with
Fix your
first and
program on your
foremost.
diet first.
Yeah.
You need
Whatever.
that's supposed to
Not
be your
just
base
that,
and your
you
foundation.
need to first get into the gym.
Exactly.
And start
Yeah.
before you can think about supplementing, right?
And also
Once
sleep.
you've gone through that and you've made some progress and you realize say you want to make a little more progress, then we can talk about the supplementation.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's it for today, guys. We're going to close out and we're going to be dropping our new training programs. It's called the Olympus Strength Projects. Just look out for that. They're professionally done and written up by Kratos himself.
Yes, sir.
Right? We're going to be dropping those on our platforms soon and advertising it. Just catch and look out for the training videos to come soon. Well, that's it for the day. Happy New Year again, guys. And please tune in again for another episode of Olympus Talks. Out.